Like the video, then please make sure you subscribe. Also hit the bell icon so you don't miss a beat. Enjoy the video. Alright, what's up everybody? So, Master of Sakurai has pretty much confirmed that we're going to be getting a Smash 6. But on a much smaller scale. Now, to some this is going to be good because more Smash, but to others is going to be terrible because, you know, we're probably never going to see a roster nearly as big as Smash Ultimate again. Also, Master of Sakurai pretty much retired from game development. Well, semi-retired anyway. He's not going to be working on this next Smash Bros. Game as closely as he once was. He did say he was going to supervise though, so don't worry too much. But, you know, reboots are inevitable. It happens. Just look at Mortal Kombat 1. Anyway, a lot of YouTubers put in their 2 cents of what the next roster for Smash 6 could look like. So I want to throw my hat into the ring too. Now, before I show you my roster, I need to clarify a few things. Alright, number 1. I tried not to put too much personal bias in this. So if your favorite character that you really want to see in Smash isn't on here, sorry man, but maybe I put him in as DLC, who knows. Also, I had to make a lot of heavy cuts. I also had to take in consideration whether or not that franchise had games in the last 10 years. If not, you know, there were some of the first cuts I made. I also got rid of a lot of the third-party characters. And I tried to save as many of those guys as I could. Well, within reason, anyway. Alright, anyway, here's the roster I came up with.
Okay, this is the roster I came up with, and I'm still not completely satisfied with it. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, you're supposed to cut down on characters. You know, they already said it's not going to be as big as Ultimate. Well, first of all, some of these are Echo Fighters. And, second of all, we have to add newcomers. You know, that's just something that comes with, you know, the territory for fighting games. But yeah, like, I came to this conclusion because I didn't really like a lot of the rosters that people were coming up with. You know, because just certain character choices didn't make a lot of sense to me. Then there was also cuts that, again, just didn't make sense to me. Like, what? Like, why would you cut Jigglypuff from your roster? Like, she's been here since the beginning. It'd be dumb to take her out. I mean, there are some choices I do understand, like getting rid of Toon Link and Young Link. They're just characters that play like old Link, but in slightly different ways. Like, get the hell out of here. And then they sometimes, and then a lot of the times they leave Daisy as an Echo Fighter, and I'm just like, there's a game that you can make a moveset from. She doesn't have to be an Echo Fighter. You know, Pauline's right there. And then they still cut, smaller franchises too, like Kirby. It only has 3 representatives, but you want to get rid of one of the representatives to make way for Midnight and Waddle Dee, and I feel like we could fit all 4 of them on the roster. All 4 of the main boys on the roster. And then there's Fire Emblem, which they again fuck up really badly because they left all the Avatar characters on there, and I'm just like that. You know, you think people gonna have a problem? You think people had a problem with Fire Emblem before? They're really gonna have a problem with it now. Like what? Like, why would you even do that? I mean, you could just easily make Chrom the representative for Awakening. And then there's hard choices, like, I did not want to have to gut the entirety of the Star Fox, Kid Icarus, or Earthbound characters, but I'm sorry, man, but their franchise is either dead, completed, or dormant. Which really sucks, 'cause I love the Kid Icarus franchise, but I just don't see a reason for him to have 3 representatives when his franchise isn't kind of doing anything. Same for Star Fox, like, just, I already know it's gonna piss people off, you know, just, you know, if Falco doesn't come back. I cut Lucas. I freaking love Lucas, man. But yeah, even though this is what I came to, I'm still not completely satisfied with it. You know, I tried to put on here a good mixture of relevant and popular characters on here. Then there's other characters on here that aren't really relevant, but are still super popular. Okay, admittedly, a couple of these picks are just for me picks. I kind of learned that from a dude, Maximilian Do, whenever he makes his build the roster. Sometimes you gotta have wackier or out there picks, or just for me picks. You know, because again, this is all purely hypothetical, so, you know, just don't be afraid to have fun with these rosters. Now, admittedly, some of these picks on here are both just for me picks, but also picks I can explain. Which I'm about to right now.
Okay, for a new Smash Bros. Game, two things are inevitable. Salt and a Fire Emblem character. Sometimes at the same time. And well, since it's inevitable, I figure, hey, let's have some fun with this. Like, we could just put in the Avatar character, but come on, man, we can be more creative than that. So that's why I decided to go with Fran. Why Fran specifically? I don't know. You know, she's definitely one of the more unique Fire Emblem characters because she fights with hands. She's a monk, so she uses martial arts as her main weapon. Not to mention the fact that she's also a healer, so she should also potentially heal herself in battle. You know, I think it'd make for a fun moveset. You know, various punches and kicks that she does. Yeah. And if we have to go with a royal character, then I'd pick Tamara. I already know somebody in the comments is gonna be like, and rest of these more black characters anyway, man. You know, plus she's got a fun personality and she'll represent a type of fighter we have not seen in Smash as of yet. A spear fighter. Like, I mean, I already put a bunch of spear fighters on this roster already, but come on, man, you know, the more the merrier. We had a ton of sword fighters. Nobody really complained about that. What about saying everybody complained about that? But whatever. You know, the point is, I think if they include an engaged fighter, they can get a little creative and not just put in, you know, the player character. You know, get creative. You know, all these characters in the game, you want to go with the most obvious choice, obvious and creatively better. Okay, so this isn't really me justifying why I put on a roster. So much of me justifying why I decided to be Echo Fire. Well, for one thing, she's actually got enough material for her own moveset. Like the entire time I was playing through Super Mario Wonder, some of these moves, I was like, you know, a lot of these moves turn this into a moveset for David. Now y'all probably sitting there wondering, why not give these moves to Mario? Well, for one thing, I don't really think that they would fit into Mario's playstyle. Like, my main problem with people when it comes to adding moves to Mario's playstyle is that there's no coherence. Or it's usually something that would kind of disrupt the move. Like the move says, you know what I mean? But a lot of the stuff will fit for Daisy, it's just kind of a blank slate with being an action fighter. And before anybody says anything, how would that make any sense? Does it make any sense that Peach's moveset came from Super Mario Bros. 2? Oh, it does because it was her first playable appearance? Well, let's look at that. Super Mario Wonder and Daisy's first playable appearance. Well, and again, people cared about me when it. Alright, now let's talk about Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Dude, seriously, who's Mike Jones? I have no idea who that is. for those who understood that reference just now, we're best friends now. But I didn't put my Jones in this roster just so I can do this. I put him out there partially so I can do it. But in all seriousness, though, you know, he comes from a really obscure NES game, and people are always talking about how we need to represent, you know, some of the more obscure, you know, old video games. So why not Mike Jones? You know, he's got a moveset that writes itself. Now, why Mifa out of all champions? Why not Rivali, who appears to be the most popular champion that people want for Smash Brothers? Well, at least represents, you know, the archetype spear fighter, which does not exist in Smash Brothers, and no, I do not count Byleth, who uses Aaron Barr in like 3, maybe 4 of his attacks. I'm in a character that completely uses the spear. Well, it's not necessarily a spear, it's a trident, but you know what I mean, bro? Just a polearm character, man. Not only that, but she also represents an element that we don't see that much in Smash Bros. In fact, we really have 2 characters, and they're both Pokemon. Yeah, that's right. Where are my water characters at, man? Where are my characters that can manipulate water? Come on, man. I want to see a moveset of her just, you know, just shooting water blasts at people, and maybe diving under the stage like it is water and then popping up and hitting somebody. Oh man, that sounds. Mother one thinks that sounds badass. Which is me. So both of these characters are actually from some newer Nintendo franchises. I know no one's exactly asking for the Ring Fit Rainy, or Bereka from Ninjala to get in, but how many people ask for Byleth from Fire Emblem to get in? How many people ask for Corrin to get in? Nintendo loves advertising against other franchises through Smash Brothers, so even if we don't really want them in, I feel like it's gonna happen regardless. Now, when it comes to representing the Sonic franchise, I don't know why, but I feel like it wouldn't be Tails that would come in as another fighter for Sonic. I also kind of don't want Eggman, if I'm being honest. You know, so, you know, I consider Amy a just for me pick. I know it's not likely to happen, but I don't know, man. I feel like she could have a pretty cool moveset. Like, you know, just a very heavy hammer-based moveset. You know, kind of like a faster version of King DDD. I don't know. Okay, so basically, I don't really have any ideas when it comes to game modes. But I do have one idea. I think this game needs a lot more character interaction. What I mean by that is, this game could use some pre-fight tangents. Kind of like in Another Realms fighting game, or an Arc Systems fighting game. You know, they're both good at things. Now you're probably just sitting there like, how is that gonna work when a lot of us doesn't talk? It completes senses anyway. You know, it doesn't really seem like something Smash Bros. Would do, but you know, it could work, But we gotta bring in the announcer though. What I mean by that is, it's like right after the character spans a little bit, the announcer comes in and just says something, you know, funny and quick. Or like related to the match. You're like, well, Mario vs. Sonic. You know, Sonic's like, alright Mario, let's do this. And then Mario's like, here we go. And then the announcer could be like, the eternal rivalry continues. Or if it's Luigi and Shadow could be like, oh, Luigi, let's settle this. Who's strongest? And Luigi's like, let's go. And the announcer could be like, Battle of Eternal number 2 begins. Battle of the strongest, or Battle to see the strongest number 2 begins. And then Luigi and Shadow both just kind of look up at him like, almost as if they could hear him. Like, what the hell, man? Or when it comes to Mifa and Zelda. Like, okay, so for those who don't know, Mifa has a crush on Link. And Zelda's usually his love interest, so, you know, maybe Mifa could be like, alright, whoever wins this gets Link. And then Zelda could be like, you're on. And then the announcer's just like, the battle for Link's love begins? Almost like he's confused. Ooh, remember for Daisy and Tamara? You know, Tamara could be getting all hype and shit like, alright Daisy, let's do this. This is gonna be super special. This is gonna be super fun. And Daisy's like, yeah, whoa. And then now she could be like, the battle of the princesses begins. Almost as if he's skeptical of the fact that they're princesses. And again, they almost hear him and they look a little annoyed. You know, before going back to fights. I don't know, man. I know that seems like a lot of work, but if Mortal Kombat can do it for every character, no, not just interactions, not just one apiece though, but multiple interactions. I feel like Smash Bros shouldn't have that hard of a time doing it. When it comes to story mode, I know we're probably never gonna get another Subspace Emissary, but maybe expand World of Light a little bit. No, maybe find some happy middle ground between World of Light and Subspace Emissary. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
Okay, now let's talk about DLC real quick. Okay, first up we got Waluigi. He originally was going to be on my roster, but then I remember the Geno's relevant again, and Sakurai kind of put priority over him than Waluigi. Sorry, Waluigi fans, just because you think he's super popular doesn't mean he actually is. I do think he has potential to be DLC, though, you know, Nintendo definitely hears you. Next up, we got Lara Croft. Not really sure what my thought process was behind this one. I think I wanted to put in Doom Guy. But actually, now that I think about it, Lara Croft would be kind of cool. Plus, she could represent, you know, the PS1 era. Wait, plus, didn't she get a bunch of games ported on, to the Switch? Next up, we got Rayman. I kind of forgot to put him on my roster, and I meant to. Honestly, if you wanted to switch him with Ryu Hayabusa, that'd be cool. But by the way, I think he'd be cool as base or as DLC. Next up, we got Shovel Knight, the other big indie character that people seem to love. I think Shantae just slightly edges him out in popularity nowadays, because he's not nearly as popular as he was back then. But I still think he's kind of a popular choice for Smash Brothers. Next up, we got Crash Bandicoot. I don't think I really need to explain why I got Crash Bandicoot as DLC. And lastly, we got Viridi. Now, hear me out. I know I said the Kid Icarus really doesn't need a lot of representatives since it's kind of a dormant franchise. But I don't know, man. You know, a lot of people were asking for her. Well, her or Pandora. I'm not really sure what she'd do, but, you know, knowing Sakurai, he can make a moveset for her. Now, as for how DLC's gonna get handled, I think Smash Ultimate handled it best. The character, a stage, and some music tracks. Now, as for characters that had to be cut for the roster, somebody actually posed a really good idea. They can slowly be drift fit in the game. At a reduced price, of course, because, you know, who wants to pay full price for characters that probably should have been base roster? But yeah, you know, just slowly drip feed the man. Alright, so, those are most of my ideas for what a potential Smash 6 could look like. I mean, I know I didn't really touch on any game modes or anything, but much bigger YouTubers have already kind of touched upon it. Well, somewhat touched upon it. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, then please like, share, and subscribe as always. You know, and make sure you hit that bell icon so you never miss a beat. You really be doing me a huge favor. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.